Good morning, good afternoon, and as always, good evening. Welcome to another edition of the London Session Market Update videos. Now, I hope you're all doing well and I hope you all had a good week. Had a nice early win today during the Asian session on a gold sell, a counter trend gold sell. Just here actually, based off that previous M30 candle, which did close a very strong bearish engulfing candle. The new candle, the M30, which was at around the Asian Open, just after the Asian Open, flipped up, rates up a wick, and as it began to flip back bearish, I took the option to take the sell, which was good for all of about 30, got close to 40 pip profit. I ended up securing at around 13 and 25 before the little runner got taken out at break even. But nonetheless, first trade of the week. Good to get a win. So again, not always going to be options to take to trade when you're on the charts, but if it is there and you plan ahead and you wait patiently for the right confirmations, all you got to do then is just execute, win, lose, or draw. And you often find if your edge works for you, you'll be on the winning side more often than the losing side. So moving forward, guys, moving on to today's proceedings. Now looking at GJ, well, the analysis for me is to look for buys. Probably gave a bit of an option actually, by the looks of it just here. Wasn't on the charts for it, but nonetheless, let's move forward and take a look at GJ. So the weekly, as I mentioned yesterday, when I see this candle, what it's likely to suggest to me is that pullbacks, the minor time frames, likely going to be met by minor support or by support minor time frames before we head back up to potentially retest the high and create potentially a higher high. So far, that's what we've done throughout the week. Looking at daily, again, bullish in structure, closing some very strong bullish candles, high highs, high lows. What we're seeing in the current daily, we yet to break the high of the previous. I'll just be marking that in. We've created a resistance, obviously at the high, we've created support at the low. So if we are to continue bullish, you should probably respect that support. So I'm just going to mark in the low of the current daily candle. We'll see what we've got below that level there. Onto the 4-hour, that is also technically bullish in structure. Look at that previous 4-hour candle closing back with a long wick to the downside. Tapping into this support here to the left, this suggests to me that we've grabbed liquidity from the downside. What you often see happen is the new candle open up and just straight up without make much of a need to grab liquidity, bring a wick in the opposite direction to the previous candle. In this case, it's just what it's done. It's just shot straight up. There is a good chance it can continue to retest towards previous daily candles high. So we'll see. What I'm going to do is mark in zones. I'm going to mark in the resistance at a high. Don't have anything to go off above that level. I'm going to mark in support back at these lows at the current daily candles low, and we'll see what we got once we get down to the M30. All right. Just going to leave that, or I could adjust it across a little bit because it's a lot cleaner price once it begins to pop below that 192.20 sort of level. All right, so what we can see is M30 structure. I would still argue it's bullish. I would say anything really above the support, I would argue it's bullish. So therefore the bias is the upside, bullish across the board. What I'd be looking at today on GJ is potential buys. Now, with respect to the first support, we bounced off it. So now it's a matter of waiting for it to once again pull back. What I want to see was for it to come down, create a bit of structure at these lows, so maybe pull back, create a high, something like this, high, low, maybe form a bit of support, minor consolidation. Price begins to break above that consolidation, minor resistance, form that consolidation, that support, be a potential options. Now, so I'll be looking for my buys, but right now, if you're not in a buy, it's a bit too late. Obviously, it's made a move up. You need to wait for that correction and pull back. It may pull back towards 192.40. Really, anywhere above that level, I'd be looking for my confirmations, my catalyst in price action to potentially buy. Now, having said that, the current daily, seeing we haven't yet broke the high of the previous, and we have created a obviously support at the low. So if we are to continue bullish, we should respect that support. So first potential sell options might be as we start to pop below, break below the current daily candles low, into that level below 192.20. Obviously, it's pretty clean to the left at that point there. Flipping the M30 structure also. So I'd look for my sell options at that point. Now, having said that, I would still look for sells higher up, guys. Reason being is because we're yet to create the high to that previous daily candle. So if we come back up and retest this resistance, or even pull up and create that lower high on the current impulse to the upside, all I'm waiting for is my signals in price action, whether it be at this point here, or may pull up further to that 192.40 and reject. Looking for my signals in price action to look for my potential sells to take it back down towards the current daily candle's low. So I would say as long as we respect the high of that previous daily candle, at this point here, I would look to sell it. So I'm just going to put buys above. And I would look for my potential sells really anywhere below that 193.40 level. I'm going to pop in the sells at that point there. Today's GJ. Let's move on to gold, which is obviously after FOMC has been on an absolute tear to the upside. All right. So gold, it's bullish across the board. I think we don't really need to go too much into the actual structure itself and the price itself. We all know it's bullish. We can pretty much fast track to what we should be looking for today. But nonetheless, let's look at the weekly. It is forming a strong bullish candle, daily, and probabilities to the upside. Yet to create a low wick in the current daily. Have a high, low, high, high. Happen to need to break our own low if we are to continue bullish. 4 hour lines up this resistance to the left. I'm just going to mark in that level. I'm just going to see what we got once we go down to the minor time frames. Looks pretty clean below it. Onto the M30. It looks to be exhausting on the 4 hour. You can see we're tapped into that level. I'm just going to now drag that across. Most recent price action. There lines up with the price action to the left. So that's a support form within the current daily candle. It's also 4 hour resistance to the left. Nice. All right. Very tricky on gold right now. It's just consolidating. There is absolutely no direction. Simple today. What I'll be looking for is price to come back down. Likely going to grab some more liquidity yet again and retest its own, potentially retest its own low, which is a little bit further down. But we form support within the current daily candle around at 219.750. So if we drop back to it, once again, I'm just looking for my catalyst in price action to look for my potential buy above that level there. So buys above. Now, as for the sells, guys, now we are go back to the 4 hour just quickly. See, this is all one big zone to the left hand side. What I'd be doing is marking the current daily candle is low, just marking that support form at that point there. Below it, we're starting to pop below a lot of this crap to the left. Below it, it comes cleaner. So I would still look for potential buys if this is the case. We pop down and respect the current daily candles low, in the form a little bit of structure lower down, then I could potentially look for my buys from a little bit lower down. Now, if we do pop down and begin to drop below current daily candles low, seeing we have that high low, high scenario to the previous daily candle, there is no need, if we are to continue bullish, price to come back down and break at the current daily candles low, support formed at that level. So if we begin to do so, then we have clean traffic to the left hand side. At that point, I think there's a high probability that we're going to make a deeper pullback back towards that 2000 and potentially 165 level. Could pull up. I mean, you're looking to the left to see where price could potentially pull back up to, and again, form a support. It's still going to technically be bullish in the M30, believe it or not, guys, until basically the lows here, 2,155. I'm just looking to the left and I'm asking myself, where could we potentially pull back to form a support to head back up? But as far as counter trend sells, I would definitely be interested below that point there, around at 2,182.850. Price begins to pop below it. Otherwise, I'm all about the buys. Buys above the highs upon continuation, not so keen on just yet, unless it makes a clean move up, pulls back, and I might wait for it to form support, or the option is it creates a higher high. There could be an option to buy it, but just let it create some moves because it's just consolidating. All right, onto GU. I'll just use the markup that I've already made and sent into X. So those of you who are not following, make sure to do so. The link is down below in the description. I will post these charts in probably 2 or 3 days a week. I won't have time to do it every trading day, but I will make sure I do so a couple of days a week. Just gives you more in-depth view of what I'm looking at. But anyway, what I'll be looking at GU today is bullish across the board after that big push from FOMC. So it's quite simple. Be looking for support to form at the current daily. It's actually, yes, the current daily candles low. That point there, similar to gold, similar scenario gold. The M30 structure, as long as we respect it, will remain bullish. So if we begin to pop below that 12780, we're going to start to flip it. Well, we will flip the M30 structure bearish. That point there is when I start to trust the sells a little bit more. If we come back down, respect that 12780, I'd be looking for my candle swing price action to buy back up towards the current daily candles high. The buy options above 1.28020 on continuation above the current daily candles high. I prefer to see a closure above it, to be honest, guys. Or it just depends how we approach if it comes towards London Open, if we are up near that high. But always prefer the candle closure. If just added confidence and gives you more confidence than taking the impulse entry. So work to your strengths, guys. That's what I would say. And last but not least, let's look at NAS. I've drawn up this chart as well. But you know what? Let's start fresh on NAS. Also, massive pump to the upside from FOMC, and it's even price discovery. All-time highs on NAS. Quite simple in the analysis moving forward. Well, not quite all-time highs. Take that back. Very close to it though. So when I'm looking at the current weekly candle, again, that suggests to me that likely pullbacks within it is likely to be met by support in minor time frames. So I'll just be looking on the minor time frames to see as to where we could potentially pull back to on that support, so I can look for my potential buy options. I can almost cut through the crap and go straight down to the 30-minute in that case. However, I will go through the candles on the different time frames, looking at daily high, 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 low, be marking the current daily candles low, have no need to break it. If we are to continue bullish, it would have formed support that low. See what we got on the 4-hour. That is also technically bullish. Just going to mark it in. I'm going to adjust it as we go down to the M30. I'm going to mark that level in. And also see we've just broken out that previous resistance. That could be a potential level price pulls back to, form a support before we head back up. All right, let me see. All right, so we're making clean moves, making relative clean moves, and we've got clean traffic on the M30. So I'm just going to adjust this, guys. I think there's still room for it to go to the upside. If it doesn't mean it has to pull all the way up, but I mean, looking at the M30, we've got some very clean traffic. So I'm just going to adjust it for the time being. I'm going to mark in this support. It's blue, seeing it's an M30. Very similar scenario to gold. However, the current daily low is a little bit lower down, but within the current daily candle, as we can see, guys, we'll form support at that 18.32.7 roughly level. So if we are to continue bullish, up back down, I would expect buys to come back into the market, and I'd be looking for my catalyst within price action or a potential buy to take it back up. So I'll be looking for buys above that level. Just marking buys. Now, as for sells, I'd be starting to consider some counter trend entries. Actually, it won't be counter trend once we have the closure below, because the M30 structure will be flipping bearish. So if we start to pop below that level I've just marked in for the buys, I'm going to flip the M30 structure bearish. At that point, we're probably likely to come back down and retest the current daily candles low, potentially create a low low. So in that case, I'd be looking for sells below. Now, would I entertain sells from a bit higher up? At this rate, only if we start to form a bit of structure. So if we pop up, right the high, right low, lower high, lower low, try to correlate it with a 4-hour candle closing back bearish. So it might be closer to MY, around the MY open. That's when I start to consider the sell. So it's a fair while off. But that is the only way I would consider selling it. Buys above the highs at this stage, I want to see some sort of exhaustion. So pull back, create that higher low. And then you got the option of buying it from support. Otherwise, food form support above that previous resistance. Otherwise, it creates that higher high. That's the next option to look for the potential buy on NAS. And that's about it, guys. I'll leave it at that. If you could, make sure to like the video so we get the content out there. And it'd be great if you could share it. Leave a comment. and I will likely catch you for NY for an NY update. Sorry about last night. Last night my time. I didn't bother with NY because of all the news about. I didn't think it was worthwhile. So I will likely catch you guys later. Cheers, guys. Trade safe. Let me know how you go for London session, and I will catch you guys probably for NY. Cheers. Bye for now.